Okay, hope you can see that. So, I thought about this. I set out some goals to give my training a little bit more structure. It's not bad, but you can always improve. And so these goals, you might think some of them, well, they're a bit tame, but hold on. So the big list for 5 reps apiece. So OHP, yeah. So 3/4 of body weight, bench body weight, squats 1.5 times body weight, deadlift 1.75 times body weight, all for 5 reps. I actually can already get the bench and the deadlift already. The squats and the OHP, they're going to take some work. Obviously, in the past, I've far surpassed these numbers, but this is now. So, pull-ups, 12. Well, I've recently got 13. Dips, 15. I think that's pretty easy. I might not get it straight away, but only a couple of weeks ago I was doing more than 15. Press-ups, 30. No idea. I think that's going to be a challenge. But I think that the bottom 1 mile in under 9 minutes, that's going to define things. Yeah. So my idea is that I'm gonna hit all those numbers in 1 week. So it's got to be the same week. So it's not on the same day. So I think that'd be a bit excessive trying to do all that on the same day. But on the same week. Hold on, I'm just trying to set this up. Awkward. Okay. So I don't think they're excessive. It's definitely doable. I'm not sure about the mile under 9 minutes. I don't do fast running recently. For quite a while. I find I prefer to save the sort of like the high end effort for the the barbell stuff, the kettlebell stuff. But I read all those numbers. I got all those numbers from Alan Thrall, and it struck me immediately as, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get some sort of a balanced general fitness. So there's no point in being able to sort of like deadlift, 250 kilos and being a lump of lard that can't run to the end of the street. For what I'm trying to do. I've done that before. So at one point in time, I would have. Well, even so, because it's all measured in body weight, it would have still been pretty challenging at any point. So when I was hitting my my best lifts, I was weighing in at just shy of 100 kilos. In fact, tell a lie, that's in competition. But in the gym, I was over 100 kilos, lifting some some tremendous weights. So my gym lists were actually better than my competition list, because the competition list, I always used to pull the weight down. So I never competed more than 100 kilos. Some of the competition I did substantially less than that. But thinking about it, even at my peak, because this is all relative to body weight, it would have still been pretty difficult. I'm not sure about, while I'm thinking about it. I remember doing sort of like 180 kilos for 7 on the squat. I remember doing 240 kilo deadlift for 4 reps. So that, those numbers, bench press, I think I did 130 kilos for 4 reps, if I remember correctly. OHP, probably at any point in time I would have struggled to do 3/4 of body weight for 5 reps. At any point in time. So it's not a lift that I ever concentrated on as a power lifter. Yeah? So I never really practiced OHP, so thinking about it. I'm going to have to put in a bit of effort on the OHP and squat. and hopefully maintain my body weight so that I can get a 9-minute mile, and the 12 pull-ups and the 15 dips and the 30 press-ups. So I think it is a sort of like a self-regulating idea. So you can't simply get heavier to hit the big lift numbers. Anyway, I'll work something out so that I can sort of like I'll stick a sheet somewhere which records progress. We'll get there. Okay, so what have we got today? Safety squat bar. Okay, so when I'm talking about doing squats as a goal, it's going to be the bog standard powerlifting squat. Yeah. So I'm not going to try and. So when I'm lifting puny weights on the safety squat bar, that is not really related to the squat 1.5 times body weight for 5 reps. They're completely different things. Yeah. I probably struggle to get body weight for 5 reps with the safety squat bar. Tell you the truth. But maybe we'll give it time. If I can do that, yeah. First of all, do that. Yeah, I think that's achievable. That's not utopia. That's not chasing unicorns. That is definitely doable. Yeah. So first of all, do that, and then maybe think in terms of how do I make it harder. So not necessarily heavier, but yeah, squatting. Do the squats with the safety squat bar. Yeah. Turn the bench into incline bench, something like that. Yeah, something of that nature. Who knows? Make the pull-ups weighted, make the dips weighted, make the press-ups weighted. 1 mile under 8 minutes. Who knows? But first of all, I want to get all those numbers on my goals sheet in the same week. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do some safety squat bar. So what I've got scheduled is 4 sets of 6, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start relatively low, 60 kilos, and hopefully go higher. Okay, that's hole 5 on the belt, goes on easily now. Yeah, not a problem. Hole 5. Okay, let's do 6. Yeah, that wasn't easy either. So, yeah, thinking about it. For me, 6 rep squatting is more reps than I usually do, actually. But let's go 65. So yeah, I think I talked about this on the last video that I'm going to pursue this ramping idea, which is gentler. I think it's less taxing on the joints. So you start with a relatively doable weight and move up, rather than just doing the same weight every set. Obviously, it's not really easier, because the trade-off is that okay, it starts easier, but it finishes harder. So, but it's all swings and roundabouts when you measure it all out. Don't know if I can get more on the screen, I don't know. Yeah, one day this filming, I'll get this filming one day. Okay, I think you can just about see the top of my head. Hopefully you can see it a little bit deeper. That's what I was trying to get more on the depth. So just move the camera away a little bit, get more on the screen. Okay, so 65 kilos for 6 coming up. So 4-minute timer, by the way. Okay, so I'm not finding this, particularly easy. So I'm just going to go 67.5. Now, if you watch any of these videos, you'll probably notice straight away that there's a big disparity between my squatting and my deadlifting. So deadlifting, I feel like I'm hitting, decent numbers, and squatting is pathetic. I was not quite pathetic, but I could do. I think the last session I got 105 for 5, something like that. But this safety squat bar, which I've not had it that long. I don't use it that much, but I find it very, very, very difficult. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a big mismatch between my deadlifting and my squatting, and I think the simple explanation for that is running. Yeah, I think I've done, at some points in time, done lots of running. Fairly recently I was doing lots of running. So, if you're doing lots of running, it's going to have an impact on your squatting. I think that's what suffers the most. So I think that explains the lack of squat progress. But because I'm consciously thinking, okay, let's settle this up a bit. So the deadlift goal, 1.75 times body weight for 5 reps, I've actually already achieved it. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. But it's less than 160. Yeah, I'll work it out in a minute. Yeah. But you know, the deadlift goal, I can do it already. I think 5 reps with 1.75 body weight. I can do it already, so I don't have to push that at all. So I can just hold that on. You know, I'm going to hold that on the back burner. You know, probably do a lot less deadlifting because I've already got that figure, and you know, concentrate more on the squat. Bring the squat up. You know, as I said, squat on the OHP. So the deadlift and the bench are there. They're in the bank. I've just got to hold them. So the squat and the OHP I've got to think about. Okay, so 6 reps with this one. Okay, one more set. I'll go 70. I suspect that the actual factual weight is higher than I'm saying. I'm just assuming that the bar is 20 kilos, but I don't think it is. I think it might be, it's a bit higher than 20 kilos, but I'm not even going to think about it. So long as you hold the various factors constant, so assume the bar is 20 kilos, and it doesn't matter. Because whatever the actual weight, what matters is progressing it. But even if it's not 70 kilos, it's pretty close. So, finally got an elbow sleeve. So, I succumbed in the end. I got a pair actually. So I succumbed to elbow sleeves. But to tell you the truth, my elbow's a lot better. It's definitely on the mend. But I do think that wearing something tight and getting some movement, you know, heals you. I don't know if you've heard of the voodoo floss. It's the same idea. You know, just sort of wrap the joint up, move it around for a while. Yeah, helps to clear out the joint at some point. You know, I think especially when you actually remove it. Anyway, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it works. Okay, so this is the last set, 70 kilos, 6 reps. So after this, I don't think I'm going to record it, but I've got a incline bench, 4 sets of 8. In fact, I'm going to have to change this around. I've got this wrong. I'm going to rewrite this. So after this, I'm going to do good mornings, 4 sets of 8, and then incline bench, 4 sets of 8. Yeah, I'm thinking there's no point in dismantling the whole bar to do, you know, incline bench and then resetting it to do good mornings. So I'm going to do good mornings after this. So yeah, safe squat bar, good mornings, incline bench, seated rows, 3 sets of 10, and finally some calf raises. Okay, so this is going to be the hard one, I suppose. 70 kilos, 6 reps. Yeah, I think, you know, it's just me. For me, it's just a very awkward movement, and I'm not well practiced at it. But I believe that it's going to do me a lot of good. and it's because I can put in a lot of effort with light weight. I think it's probably going to be a healthy way to progress. Okay. Yeah, I definitely mastered that one with rhythmic breathing. I find that when you get into squatting, you can really get all the little variables down pat. So big breath, go down, go back up, release the breath, take a big breath, yeah? Yeah, it's like, it's clockworkish. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll start filming at that. That's it for today. Okay, but you got the idea. So I'm balancing it all out more. So the next round of training, I'll think about adjusting it more to my goals. It won't be any great change, but it's just a case of taking the stuff that I've already achieved down a notch as regards level of priority, and the stuff that I'm struggling with up a notch. So more squatting, more OHP. I've yet to try the press ups and the mile. I think all of this. All of it, the whole thing, is going to come down to the mile. Yeah? At what body weight can I do a mile under 9 minutes? Yeah. I'm not even sure, if I went and did it now, would I be able to do it? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. I doubt it, actually. I doubt it. I know that a 9 minute mile is not a joke. Everything's relative. So, it's not a joke for us, chunky lifters. People who are built like a streak of piss. People who are built like a stick. They can knock out 9 minute miles forevermore. They could probably string together many of them every day. But the more weight you're carrying, the more muscle you're carrying, the harder you have to work. So I think I'm going to reduce this all the way to 60 kilos, and I'm going to turn off the film. Thank you very much.